Gin, 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 can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin, with long hands at 3, with short hands at 10. 10, 10, 10, 15 a.m. It's wake up time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin, with long hands at 7, with short hands at 11. 10, 10, 10, 35 a.m. It's tea time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, with long hands at 10, with short hands at 11. 10, 10, 10, 50 a.m. It's breakfast time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, with long hands at 5, with short hands at 11. 11, 11, 11, 25 a.m. It's blooper time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that? What's that time? Gin, gin, will. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 6, with short hands at 1. 1:30 p.m. It's chocolate milk time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin, long hands at 12, short hands at 2. 2 o'clock. It's blooper time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 8, short hands at 5. 4:50 p.m. No, 4:40 p.m. It's cook the oat time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 9, short hands at 5. 4:45 p.m. It's boil the eggs time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 10. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 11. Short hands at 5. 4:55 p.m. It's 4:55 p.m. It's brush your teeth time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 5. Short hands at 11. No, long hands at 11. Short hands at 5. 4:58 p.m. It's switching time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 12. Short hands at 5. 5 o'clock. It's dangling time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin, long hands at 1. Short hands at 5. 5:05 p.m. It's oat time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 8. Short hands at 6. 5:40 p.m. It's lunch time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's that time? Gin, gin, long hands at 9. Short hands at 6. 5:45 p.m. It's 5:45 p.m. It's rest time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin, long hands at 9. Short hands at 7. 6:45 p.m. It's pack the things time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin, long hands at 7. Long hands at 11. Short hands at 7. 6:55 p.m. It's dog time. Gin, 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 can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin, long hands at 2. Short hands at 7. 7:10 p.m. It's get ready time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 7. The short hands at 2. No, the long hands at 2. The short hands at 7. 7, 12 p.m. It's wear your shoes time. Gin, gin, gin. No. Okay. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 4. The short hands at 7. 7:20 p.m. It's 7:20 p.m. 7:20 p.m. It's wear your shoes time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 7. The short hands at 8. 7:35 p.m. Okay. 7:35 p.m. It's short drive. It's medium drive time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 6. The short hands at 8. 8:30 p.m. It's work time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin. What's the time? Gin. Okay. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 10. The short hands at 10. 9:50 p.m. It's okay. 9:50 p.m. It's chocolate milk time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 12. The short hands at 10. 10 o'clock. It's blooper time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 4. The short hands at 10. 10:20 p.m. It's set the table time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 8. The short hands at 11. 10:40 p.m. It's dinner time. 10:40 p.m. It's pack up time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 11. The short hands at 11. 10:55 p.m. It's dinner time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 7. The short hands at 12. 11:35 p.m. It's brush your teeth time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 10. The short hands at 12. 11:50 p.m. It's sleep time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 9. The short hands at 1. 12:45 a.m. It's dream time. Gin, 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 gin can tell time. What's the time? Gin, gin. The long hands at 10. The short hands at 2. 1:50 a.m. Time to say goodbye. Gin, gin had a great day telling time. Now he's off to lake to sleep in the cool water. Good night, Gin, gin, guys.